Hey guys! Hello! Can you hear me? Hey team! Hey Minimancer! Hello One Pingu! Hello Rumi Affairs! Okay, so today we are doing the feedback stream and I needed a little bit to actually reinstall my Photoshop, and I have slightly less time today, so I want to do like everything from the time I did the previous feedback stream because it was some time ago, and also I have shorter time today, so I will start with a work by Magali. You can see it over here, right? Can you? Yeah, you can see it. So I will start at like January 23rd, and we'll do like few of those, and hopefully like it will be enough, and then I can go back if I will have more time basically. So yeah. Also, I got today casts of my owls, so I'm on the one hand the day was pretty happy because I finally have the owls, but on the other hand I didn't sleep at night, so I'm kind of sleepy. So my energy levels maybe a bit low today. Yeah, so I will start with this one. Magali says, "Hi, I'm stuck with this piece and I really appreciate your feedback and support. I would like to achieve a pearly skin tone on the female character, but still don't know what to do with the centaur to avoid big area of monochromatic blue color." Okay, so right away I can see that the easiest thing to do would be to I don't want Photoshop Lightroom, I want something else. Where is my Photoshop? I think that the easiest thing to do would be to actually add violet to it, because like over here it's very small, the picture is very small, so you can like, you know, you don't see it very in a very detailed way, so you can see like general patches of colors, and you can like, yellow is very visible. The lady on the centaur is kind of visible, but not very much. And then we have the centaur that is kind of bluish. So we have a lot of yellow, and yellow contrasts well with purple because of the color theory and color wheel. Give me a second, I will show you guys. The real color wheel. This is a very good color wheel, by the way. So we have the color wheel over here, and this one is very good because if you don't know, there are many different color wheels, and not every color wheel represents the realistic pigments. So some color wheels are like with without any magenta, there's only red and blue, and some color wheels are without cyan, for example, and this one is pretty realistic. You can find placement of most of the realistic pigments on the wheel, so all of those dots over here are realistic pigments. First of all, it makes it easier for you to locate the pigments and colors you want to use, and second of all, you can actually see like the true or kind of real dispersion of colors on the like with relation to each one. Cozy PJ is good for feedback days. Yeah, it does. Is this a patron on Discord? It's not Patreon only. It's okay. I will link you in invite if you are not there. Sorry, I'm my thinking may be slow today. So this is, you know, when you go to my Patreon, you are, or at least you should be invited to this Discord. but everyone can use it. Also, there are no like special features for my Patreons on this Discord. The only features my Patreons get is like some like extra, like maybe not extra, like more materials and videos, though I didn't produce them like a lot. You can, you know, if you are interested in my Patreon, you can just go see what I've done there. Yeah, so in general, like, I have pretty, you know, I don't want to gatekeep everything, so Patreon is for everyone, Discord is for everyone, Patreon, anyone can sign up. I post there stuff that is for everyone, and some stuff is gatekept. I don't know. So yeah, so the Discord, like, the answer is Discord is not for patrons only. You can sign up and you can put your work in working progress feedback channel, and I will give you like opinions, because feedback channel is for work in progress where you want to get the opinion, and the work in progress is just for sharing your work in progress, because I don't want to comment unasked, basically. Yeah, so going back to this little piece, from far away, I think that we can see that there is the most visible color is this yellow over here. Yeah, work in progress is cheerleader channel. I could like call it like that. It would be like better representation. Over here we can see mostly yellow, and there is like some focus on her because she's very white, but the centaur is very big and he's kinda white blue as well. And I feel like he dominates a lot, so I would take violet, which is contrasting yellow, and I would add more violet shadows all over him, desaturated violet. And where is this guy? Over here. Will it work? It does work. Okay. And I would try to make him darker. Where are my layers? Layers are here. Okay, I think that I got it. Sorry, this is like reinstalled Photoshop, so I don't have any saved features over here. I'll maybe like go somewhere over here, maybe. Let's make it like that. Oh, I know what I'm missing. I'm missing this. Okay. It should be over here. Okay, now I can work with this. So we have this guy over here, and I will just try to add this violet I was talking about. And I will do a multiply. Not that harsh. And you know, this guy is not important because Magali said that she wants to highlight this character over here. So I can remove all of those highlights, all of those colors. They can be marked as like lesser highlights visible in the shadows here and there. Yeah, I would like remove the spear anyway because who cares about it. And also I would maybe add darker base, and like from far away. Okay, I think that my PC is lagging a little bit, but from far away you can see that the character is like strongly lit already. See what the difference, right? So we managed to highlight her, and also she looks more yellow right now because there is not that much white over here. I can make it even darker because who cares about him, right? Nobody. And she's already warmer, and now I think that if like I don't know how pearly her skin tone is supposed to be, so should she be like shiny pearl or just very bright and very with a strong reflections on her skin. So I'm not sure what is the aim, because I didn't see any reference, and I'm not sitting in Magali's head to be able to guess all of that, because she knows what she's imagining and what she's aiming for. So I would personally take this violet color again and add a little bit of like this reflective shadows on this girl, but with this slight line of reflection going from underneath to show that, because reflective objects reflect the main source of light, but also ambient light coming from like all around, and the main source of light is the strongest and the biggest, and the ambient reflections usually are visible like underneath. So I would try to create something like that. Also, with using violet, we need to be careful to not create the effect of bruised skin. So in some areas we may just add a little bit of blush to make her more like lively and basically alive, if the purple will be too intense. And also it should be multiplied like that. I won't overdo it. And maybe a little bit on her face to make everything like more intense. And now I would take like very bright kinda yellowish highlight to reflect like this lighting from over here. And also, if we will add yellowish highlights, we would like achieve this duality between this yellow over here and yellow also source of light, because it looks like warm sun is lighting up the clouds, and then we are contrasting this yellow with this blue over here. So if we will add more yellow reflections and more highlights on her, it will show that it will show even more that she belongs to this warm area, which is not going like well with the centaur. And I would add, like from this direction, I would add also some reflections on or highlights on the centaur, but more neutral than on her. Hey, Celestic. So I will just, or maybe not with another layer. So I would just add a little bit of those warm reflections. And everything is rough, right? Because I'm working on like a principle of I'm working on a sketch. Maybe a little bit like over here, right? Because this is a big round surface, and I don't know. I would add like this shiny reflection from underneath. Also, she could like have a little bit of reflection over here, or over here, for example. And of course on her cheekbone, maybe this doesn't look like the best on the sketch, at least. And well, everything over here. With the hair, I think that I would need to work with the hair, but it's not shiny enough, so in my opinion it needs a little bit of shadows. So I would add like deeper shadows, and then like those lines of darkness to create like this effect of the waves being more reflective, because when something is reflective you need like this interchangeable light, dark, light, Jesus, dark, light, dark. So to create like this effect, when you have very bright surface, you just need to take a slightly darker color and just paint a line through this light area, and it will create like this effect of light, dark, light, because you basically are creating this checkerboard without big without big effort, let's go like that. Thank you for subscribe or for follow. I'm not sure whichever it was because I cannot see it right now. So something like that. Yeah, so and it's very slight because I don't want to overpaint it right now, but you can see like over here, for example, I think this is the best example that we have like this slight like satin reflective effect going around, and I would just try to reflect it on most of like those waves on her hair. And also, of course, you can deepen the non-metallic metal effect by just like doing much darker areas, basically. Yeah, so something like that. And because we got stronger contrast on her, and we have slight yellowish highlights contrasted with slightly purplish shadows. She's more contrasted on her own, but also because we framed her with the darker centaur, she's like more on a display basically. So I would go with her in this direction, and I also think that this is pretty cute composition. Because you know those clouds, they reflect very nicely the texture and the shape and the dynamics of her hair, and the background is like continuation of her hair, and also the hair are slightly yellow. So I know I would maybe even like take stronger orange and just maybe try to paint like a little bit of orange in the ends of her hair to show that she's like coming out of this area over here where she belongs. So I overall think that this is pretty good, pretty nice. I also have to say that I think that from all of the versions of the miniatures that I've seen of this one, this is the best one. Like I like this idea the most, and like this composition. I don't know if it's completely original. I would have to ask Magali, but this is very, very cool. Like this creativity with the background is very nice. I like it, and I enjoy it a lot. Very nice one. Yeah. So next one. Do anyone have any questions about that one? Should I like stay more on this topic, or are you okay with me like continuing? No questions? No questions. Okay. So here we go. Minimancer. Okay, cool. So Minimancer said, okay, I did more work and more. Okay, so we have the first one. Sorry, I will go back. Okay, so this is basically finished, besides maybe a bit of finishing touches and maybe things added to the backdrop, but I am putting it here in case there are any thoughts. I think that this one is very good, the comparison. Thoughts of minor improvements. My idea was to do a version of Hair of the Moon, where the backdrop light was an aurora and not Among Us. I am cool and edgy like that. Very edgy. Okay, I did more work and more changes. Again, I am waiting on a few more printed treetops to really sell that she's flying in the treetops. I may sprinkle a little bit of snow on her shoulders or hat. So this is the original version, like the first one. What are the criteria to have feedback? No criteria, just go to my Discord. I think that this I paste. Yeah, this is the invitation to my Discord. It should work. Go to my Discord. If you want to say hi. And on the feedback channel over here, just post picture and like short or long a description of what you are going to do with this one, or what you are aiming for. So I would like know what how to like help you basically, because you know a picture without any description like has not that many information for me on how I can help. So just do a description and I will know where you are going with the painting. And that's all. You just need to be there. Okay, so this is the first one, and this one in general I think that this composition is very cool, very interesting, but if the idea of hair hovering in the treetops, it's very cool, but also it's very hard to sell. And I did some feedback like on a stream before, right, or 2 streams back, but I will kind of repeat it. So in my opinion, it's not selling that much the treetops, but this one was selling more that she's closer, placed closer to the viewer, and the trees are further away, so like they are very small, so the distance between the miniature and the background is big. So that composition was selling this idea like more to me. Oops, I didn't do any description. are this poop. I give up, and what can I do to make them better? Okay. They are okay, cool. And so this is selling better the idea of like perspective, right? So the foreground being closer and the background being further away. I'm not sure how she looks from the side, but in this case I think that I would try to put her like a little bit further, like hovering like slightly over the edge of the base, to actually place her a little bit, you know, closer to the viewer. I don't know if this is a good idea and a good direction, but I would try to do this. Like, you know, some ideas needs to be verified by real life painting, because you know, we are not 2D artists. We need to like keep to the laws of physics, and this is and sometimes it's impossible to make something actually hover over, you know, over the base. So we need to support ourselves with stuff like wires and etc. So I would try to maybe use a wire and make her like closer to the viewer, a little bit over the line of the base. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but the idea, like the intention was not to actually create like this perspective, but to create the idea that those are treetops that are placed like closer to her. And I think that the issue over here is that you have this physical barrier over here, like they are ending like that. In particular, when you had snow just lying flat like that, I think that it was more problematic than on this one. With this one, I think, let me put it in Photoshop. With this one, I think that the good direction would be to or new one, Ctrl V, does it work? Oh my god, I hate it. Okay, give me a second. No, not this one. Okay, let's have it like that for now. Or maybe can I? Okay. I got it. So with this one, I think that first of all, taking the snow and creating, because the treetops, they have they are like lines covered with the, I don't know how to call the needle leaves, I don't know. They usually go like this, right? So I would create like this shape. I can show other angles too if it's important for feedback and such. I don't think that it's important actually. So I will judge only by this photo, and I actually prefer to have less photos and judge by the main view basically. I did put a few other angles in work in progress just now if you wanted to look, and again I am getting a few more trees for yeah I know that, but I want to give like the fuller feedback, so especially for people who didn't hear like the before session, like before stream. So I think that I would try to create like this area like that, shapes, to sell the idea that there are like treetops under and they are covered with the snow, and also this is too bright. So I don't know, something like that, but covering more, being not that jasność. Okay, something like that. So I would maybe try to make them in those lines. So and actually cover it in snow, because right now you have round snow, and I think that maybe this is slightly over dramatic, but I would try to keep them in this kind of shape. And also I think that taking this base, you don't have to do it, right? This is just my idea, and taking this base and basically cutting into it to kind of create like this illusion of the treetops going down lower and lower. I'm not sure if this is like perfect execution of this idea. I would try to experiment basically. So this would be the end of the the tree branch, and then there would be like those indentations over here showing that this is the top and there is like a little bit more space going down. And this is actually hard to give feedback to this kind of project, because this is very creative and kind of groundbreaking, because I haven't seen anything like that before, and I don't have a reference to something that was successfully done in this kind of direction. So again, this is something that would be good for experimentation actually, and I think that it's good that you are doing a few attempts and trying to find out what works and what doesn't work. And also, like, I would add another layer of snow a little bit lower on the tree branch, like those that should be placing the indentations or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if it would work again. And it's good that you are trying and retrying basically, because this is sometimes adding some detail makes on the base makes the work too literal in a way. So if you need to, sometimes to be clever with it and kinda add this a little bit of whimsy into the composition. And I think that I would personally try to add like those indentations with the fake branches in there. But maybe just adding the branches, over here and just gluing them on would be enough. Just try to focus on the shapes of the starry, shapes going in the lines and not in a circle, because you need to suggest something. Yeah. Yeah, you are groundbreaker, Mimazar. yeah, but I personally like the most when people are trying new stuff, and this is like exactly like this, right? Oh, sorry guys. So this is something interesting and cool, and I like it a lot. And for the painting of the of this thing over here, like the Aurora Borealis, I think that you don't have to repaint it. It's just some kind of feedback for the future. Like for another project that was maybe like called like that. I would try to do more organic shape, because usually Aurora Borealis is like ends in like this kinda wispy way, and it's not very regular. So I would, and also sometimes it's kinda angled. So I think that the background is a slightly missing like this angled geometric, but yet not completely even vibe over here. And I think that there could be like a little bit of highlight going through over like this base of those Aurora Borealis snakes basically. And also big props for choosing this topic, because I think that this is very hard to do, and I was thinking about painting something with Aurora Borealis myself, but I couldn't find like the good interpretation, and you just went home with it, so I like it a lot. No, it's not too late. Just go into my Discord again. This is the invitation. Go into feedback channel, post the picture over there, post a short or long description of what you are aiming for, and I will feedback it basically. A little bit more randomized makes sense. Also the randomization, making something look organic and random, is the hard part actually in painting. So it's I don't know, it's like this fit you are gaining or learning to achieve with your experience basically, to make things look more organic, and also not to think too much when you are painting about stuff, because some stuff is just too random to be like consciously placed. So this is actually a feedback I got from Lucas Szczepa, that this is doing the random things on purpose is the hardest thing to do, and also the randomness actually makes things look good. So this is like this part of this randomness feature I would add. And you did pretty well with the highlights. I think that they I don't know, in a way they work like she would be lit by a some kind of like general source of light from the front. So, and this is just nitpicking right now, because overall she's painted very well. I wouldn't change right now painting on her. If you were to repaint something about aside the base, I would go for the Aurora Borealis slightly. I would keep her as she is, but for the future, because this is a night scene again, I think that I would just do darker shadows. This is slightly too strong, so I will take it down. Slightly stronger shadows. They won't be perfectly placed right now, and to make her slightly darker, and this way also the lighting from the side will be stronger. So with the painting, it's just something people need. Also, I would turn down those highlights over here on the treetops. Also with the painting, hard thing to do is actually push yourself to push on with the shadows, and to make some stuff look much darker, for example. So this is feedback for the future. Okay, this is not perfect shadow. I just want to make her look darker. Oh, this is awful. Okay, I will undo. So I would add stronger shadows, even in the middle of the character, whatever, and create hair in a darker tone to highlight the side highlights going in the back. And it's not perfect again, but this way you can see that she's actually lit from this aurora borealis with this yellow, green. And when she has this neutral lighting, she looks more like she's in the daylight, basically. And go ham and see where the dust settles is how I paint. Very good approach. In my head it was a big moon in front, basically where the viewer is. Okay, so it may be, it works in this way, but also you can try to, or maybe not, because this is the treetop, so the shadow wouldn't be visible. But if this was standing on the snow, on the ground, I would try to, in this instance, paint the shadow in behind the tree to show that the light source is coming from this direction, and it's casting shadows on the ground. But because this is a treetop, you don't have to do that. Hey Kujo! That all makes sense. I still need to be braver about pushing my shadows. You are pushing crazy ideas with your painting. So shadows is something very basic to push. So you should just do it. Yeah, Kujo showed me his feedback recently, and it was like, I know, when I give feedback, I like to focus on the most, the hottest takes. So something that is visible right away, and I like to do 2 to 3 pointers, so the people won't get lost, because I feel like that sometimes my commentary is too much, and it just after some time it just starts flowing in one ear and flowing out with the second ear, because it's just too much. And Kujo just he wrote this perfect this elaborated article, and it was very, very good and insightful. So big props for your feedback, Kujo. And I definitely need to make at least the whole base darker, her legs too. Yeah, I think that making her legs darker is a good idea, because when I'm painting my 75mm miniatures, which I don't paint a lot, but I sometimes do. Let me find, where is Andrea? There is Andrea. So I like to do something like that, because legs are completely uninteresting for me. So I like to paint nice and interesting top, and then the legs are boring. I don't need them, so they can be dark. And this way the dark legs allow the top of the character to shine. So I personally recommend this approach to people. And yeah, so this is this. I know, Minimaster, do you have any questions? I tried with my Lesha 75, but went way overboard with it. But now you have the experience, and you know how to take it back slightly. How many pages are on Kujo? 24? Yeah, at least 24. There may be more. It makes sense. Thank you. Here you go. Happy to help. And the next one, and for my dwarf, I think he's done. I have him in my finished case, but if there are small tweaks to really push him, I would maybe make the changes if I bring him to a competition, but feedback always helps. With this one, I would what? There is no Photoshop over here. With this one, I can instantly tell that I would just add stronger shadows, basically. Nazwa pliku, no. Okay, I need to do it again in this way. Where is Mr. Dwarf? Here, I guess. And with Mr. Dwarf, I would add stronger shadows. And also, I think that I would kinda make his bird slightly darker in some areas, because there is this big patch of white over here, and his nose is pretty cool, but I personally would like to have the highlight on his eyes and slightly less on his bird, so I would make the bird slightly darker, basically. Also, I think that you should push yourself more with the shadows and with the highlights. First should be the shadows, because look, look, I like those green undertones over here. They are pretty cool. I would add them everywhere, honestly. Because they show like this forest vibe, and that would be cool. So from underneath, you know, like something like ambient reflections, ambient light. So when you would be basically standing in a red room, the light reflecting from the walls would make your skin look slightly red. So I think that something similar could happen in the forest if there was a lot of green. The green would kinda overtake some of the undertones. So I would add more green all over to add more atmosphere, also over here. And this is very basic advice, but this is basically, I don't know, one of the greatest things you can do for your miniature painting, because this brings, in particular if you are painting for display and not for gaming, one of the greatest things you can do is to add more atmosphere into your painting. And also I will add it on the white bird, right, because white reflects colors the most. And that would, I know he's kinda rugged, and this perfect bird kinda doesn't go with it like that well. So I would add more green that would also make the ends of his bird slightly darker, and it would kinda, I don't know, make it more interesting a little bit. Big props on his face. It's very, very cool. First of all, like his freckles. This is the basically repetition of the detail on the shroom. So this is like, I always say that repeating either colors or patterns is very cool, because that shows that you are aware of what you are painting. And you know, on the one hand, in theory, you are reusing some stuff, but on the other hand, you are not putting more and more new elements into your painting. And I know, I think that it's very, very nice to reuse the detailing. Very wise, I like it. I like the way now it's, yeah, this is like genius, I love it. I like the way the nose is like a mushroom. Thank you, that was the first idea of this paint job. I based it all around that idea. Very cool idea, and you know, this is like small detailing, but it's so clever, it's selling like everything. And makes everything very interesting and very cool. So see, you don't need a lot of like cool techniques, perfect non-metallic metal. The clever idea with the repetition all over the miniature is, you know, selling the paint job basically. So I don't know, and I personally like the most this kind of painting because it's something fresh and something new, and that's why it's interesting for me. so big props. See, this amount of darkness, first of all, contrasts the pipe and makes the pipe kind of shiny, like kind of fluo a little bit. If you would add a little bit of fluorescent like dots all over the bottom of the pipe, you would create like this stronger OSL effect coming from there. And see how much like more atmospheric it is. I don't want to say that better because there is no one correct way to paint everything, but I'm personally a big fan of atmosphere. Yes, it is more dramatic. And you can just do it by taking Atonian Camo Shade, I think, and just with an airbrush, just shading some of the areas. Try to not overdo it because Atonian Camo Shade is not completely transparent, so if you will add a lot of layers, you will overpaint your original painting. So it won't work like a nice filter. It may overpaint, like dominate the painting. But you can take this Atonian Camo Shade, right, and just add some filters all around and just add this kind of atmosphere, and this will be very, very cool. Also, he has very big round nose, and again, because this is round, we can create like this a little bit of darkness underneath. Hey, thank you for the subscribe. You can add a little bit of darkness over here with this little line still visible, and you will create like this slight illusion that this is round. And also it's kinda making this nose, like those dots, more irregular. And my comment about the nose is, again, idea is very cool, but you need this organic irregularity. So I will try to maybe introduce it into your painting, but I need to think which one of those dots I want to disappear. I will disappear this one, and I will try to make this one smaller, so you don't have to repaint completely the dot. You can just like paint it in half, and there will be 2 dots instead of 1, right? So work with what you have, and don't like, first of all, stripping the miniature is one of the worst things you can do instead of working with what you've already painted. And second of all, overpainting or repriming the miniature usually is a no-go for me as well. And I don't know, like maybe over here and over here one more. I'm not sure if it's not too small, but something like that. Maybe bigger, so it would be more regular, but not that regular. Again, this is like just a proposition, but I think that it would be, you can see like this kind, like how regular they are on this rim. So I think that it would be, showing maybe one of them even bigger. I don't know. This is something you should, you would have to figure out basically. As I said, it's, and as you can see, I also experiment a lot. So sometimes okay, so something like that, maybe bigger. Yeah. And this is, I don't know, in my opinion, it's more realistic because it's less regular. So something like that. And also right now this is the repetition of the pattern of his freckles, which are very, very random. And also I love the freckles are a negative to those mushroom freckles, because those are white and those are dark. Like, this is so ingenious. You don't even know how impressed I am with this one. Are you going to put the paint over pigs back into Discord like the lovely person you are? Yes, I am going to do that. I'll bug her till she does. I will do that, I promise. I need to do it right away. Like, I will finish the stream and I will save them on my disk, and I need to do it today because I will forget if I won't do it right now. And are you doing feedback next week? Working on something, I definitely need your help on that. I can do feedback next week, yeah. I think that again on Thursday, that would be a good idea. So next week on Thursday, does that sound alright? I am a little bothered. I am good at being helpful and being a pest. Sorry, you are a little brother and you are good at being helpful and being a pest. I can accept this kind of little brother. Can't wait till you and the rest of the community also paint this guy. He's such a fun model. Yeah, I thought that I will put him on my Patreon poll because if you want to, kinda direct my painting, you can go on Patreon and vote. I think that it's open for everyone. A vote on my next project I want to paint, and I was thinking about this guy, but I kind of want to paint something more female or the goblin, so I didn't put him over there, but I will, I think, put him in the next poll. But also, like, right now I saw your idea and I love it so much that I kind of feel uninspired to paint my version, and I need to digest it a little bit to come up with something I will enjoy for mine. Amarathi Shaman, right, is his name. Yeah, the spots are also make the hands look better when even if you can't see it much in the primary angle. Yeah, I can agree. This is very cool. Sounds amazing. Thank you. Here we go. You can do him with flowers and forest critters. I did tufts and mushrooms. I could do him with flowers. I need to think about it. Just sometimes. Because when I don't have this also talking about details, you need to at least highlight a little bit of this detailing over here, because this is, on the competition, this would be at least in Masters, right? But if you are going for Standard, it would be okay, but I would personally add some highlighting over there, because usually when there is shadow, we cannot see that much detail anyway. But you can see a little bit of detail, so I would add this at least slight edge highlights, not very strong, rather desaturated, rather a little bit darker, but still highlights, and so everything would be painted to the same amount of finish. And see, I just added the shadows, and this works. I think that I will actually add more highlights with this one. I think that this is cool as it is right now. So more shadows, just push yourself further in this direction. Psychedelic colors might work. They could, because he's smoking the pipe. But I'm not sure if this is something I'm vibing with right now. And right now, when I want to paint something, I need it to feel like very natural, and I don't want to experiment too much if I don't feel like it. Like a little mouse crawling off the bird nest. That would be cool. I don't know. I have to think about him. I could give him again like a green bird. Okay, that's a good tip. I would have just ignored the belt. You can ignore it if you want. Also, I will take that compliment of you basically saying you expect me to enter Masters. I don't expect you to enter Masters, because honestly, I think that there is you could work more on your technique. But in Standard, like, go for Standards for sure, and I think that with this kind of works you can, if I'm not sure what the competition is and how harsh the standards are, but there is the universe of being in the competition and win something in the competition, and then not winning something, but winning in the eyes of the public basically, and works like that always win in the eyes of the public and they are well remembered, whereas perfectly blended works, they are like, oh wow, that looks nice, and then after 5 minutes you forget about it. So I personally prefer this kind of works, and also that's why I prefer to judge standard recently, because standard is much more creative and much more innovative and more interesting, and masters is kinda usually very meh, very boring and very safe. Also because masters are often dictated by what will sell to the collectors or what collector wanted, so people tend not to be as adventurous as they should, in my opinion. So yeah, basically boring. With that you would do it without the pipe and with the mushroom in his mouth. That could be. That's why this piece made me so happy. I think it's probably my best painting technically, but I didn't sacrifice my whimsy or wildness at all. I think that actually the Hair of the Moon is your better technically, but I would also need to see them in person. To be able to compare. Also, like this is very small detail, but I like to think about that stuff. I would add like a little bit of darker rim in like somewhere in his eyes, and I'm not sure where exactly, but something like that maybe. And over here again I would create like this line of fake light, and something like this maybe. Sometimes it's hard to do in the bust because the eye is just too small, but this way you are creating like this illusion of the eye being a ball basically, shiny ball, and then you can go with the reflection over here and make it bigger and lighter. So something like that. And his gaze this way is more, a little bit deeper, like kind of glossy. See the difference? It's a little bit darker, but it doesn't have to be white. It's if you want to compensate by something white, make this reflection over here either bigger or kind of add one more reflection on the side. So something like this. And I don't know, something is not working over here. I think that over here it needs to be blended out slightly more, but so slightly darker. But see, this is like kind of more complicated painting of the eye, but it makes his look like, I don't know, more realistic. In particular, because the rest of his look is very rugged and very textured and very realistic. His eyes were just too flat, in my opinion. They are not good. Actually, not good. They are pretty good. They are not bad. But I like in particular I like this reflection, like this gem effect in his iris, and this is very cool. But the whites are too flat. So I would add a little bit of this and make him, like kind of pull up elevate the eyes so they would match the rest of this realness. Let's go like that. Well, they may both be going with me to Nova. So cool. Maybe I will be going there too. I was also thinking of attempting the pink and shine dot with the tip duct. Okay, it's good to attempt it, but don't overdo it, because this is something like, first of all, people love to talk about the undertones in the skin and stuff like that, and that the red in the eye, there are like veins and everything should be like kind of a little bit red, but this is false. I don't believe it, and I hate it actually, because when you look at someone sorry, my eyes are very itchy because allergies. When you look at someone who is not standing in your face, right? When you look at someone, you actually very barely can see that his eyes are red, unless, I don't know, he was crying, he smoked something, or I don't know, he's ill. So if you would like for this shaman to create the effect of him being basically baked, add the more redness and pinkiness inside. But in general, don't overdo it, because like sober people that are healthy have almost none redness or pinkiness visible in their eyes, unless you are very, very up close, or when you are you can see like this redness very very, you know, very much when you are looking on a portrait picture that is very much enlarged. So, or for the painters who are like portrait painters, but the portrait is not like this for the head, but for example the guy is using this kind of canvas and the head is like three times the size of the real head. In this kind of painting you have the place and, you know, the capability to put this kind of small undertone in the painting. But with miniatures we are opposite. So with painting miniatures we need to focus on what kind of level we can, like what kind of detail we can see on a person that is standing on the across the room, for example. So we need to focus on like those general features and not on like those very in-depth particular elements that are visible when you are basically looking on a person by microscope. Also with the theory of undertones on the face. People like to analyze and overanalyze the undertones. So here should be blue, like here should be yellow, something. It's good to add those colors, but don't like have them in mind, but don't overdo them. Also. Ironic making your eyes red, or if someone's been crying for ages. Yeah. Hey Dave. So yeah, this is the feedback. Let me just quickly save everything in case my Photoshop will go. Why can I use JPG? Save. It's not working. Teeth. Give me 5 seconds, guys. Save as. Okay, got it. Yes. Okay, this one is done. Okay. Got this. Thank you again for all the feedback, and sorry everyone, I had 2 in a row and how the feedback time. But everyone else could post 2 in a row as well. This is, you know, just your ingenuity, or however the correct word is in English. This is Jim, right? So we have this gob over here and witch horn. See, Jim is doing the same stuff. Okay, and we got a few more. Oh, this one has nice highlight in the front. I will start with witch horn because I think that it will be shorter. I need to read the description. I got none, but Jim was asking for the general feedback, right? Do I remember correctly? Your computer just shut off for a second. That's a very unpleasant sabotage on the side of your computer. My Photoshop was trolling me the whole day on the other hand, so I can relate with the machines going against us. Okay, so giving the general feedback, do I remember correctly, guys? I cannot find it. Okay, yes, please, anything to help would be great. First thing that would help, in my opinion, would be to because you placed nice highlights on the over here and on her skin. First of all, I think that I would add the same amount of highlights on her horns, like maybe not very strong, but going on the highlight sitting on top of the horn, because right now it's missing it. So I would go with this. I need a stronger highlight. Maybe slightly in the middle, so it would match her. So basically, because she has like this kind of lines with her hood, so I would kind of move this highlight slightly more to the middle, so it would be going in the line. Because in general, when you are thinking about doing highlights on the character or whatever, usually the highlights are like you can treat everything on the sculpt as a general shapes, geometric shapes, and usually when they are joined together, the lines of highlight are like going smoothly from one general geometric shape into another, and they are like basically tracking throughout your work. So try to find those lines of highlight and just make them work. So those are working like that, in my opinion, at least. And then I would actually make stronger highlights. So I don't know, something like that. It depends what kind of atmosphere you want to create also. I will go into yellowish because it's easier for me. But you can go for blue, for example. I think that blue would be nicer actually. Or maybe I will go for blue. Just to do something more adventurous. So the blue would go against because this is kind of paranormal character. So in my opinion, like when I'm painting paranormal characters, I like to do crazy highlights. And I don't consider pistachio highlight as crazy highlight, okay? This is normal highlight. Crazy highlight is, for example, like green, blue, stuff like that. And with this kind of highlights, you can create like this eerie atmosphere on your painting. So with the piece from Minimancer, I was talking about adding stronger shadows, and over here to create the atmosphere, and over here I'm talking about stronger highlights to create this eerie atmosphere of general strangeness. And something like that. And maybe I leave it over here, but just slightly. This shouldn't be as strong as the top. See, and like it works. It also contrasts the material, but to make it correctly, I would make the transition from red into neutral highlight. Icy yellow is okay, and then in the middle of this neutral highlight, I would place those minty bluish highlights, because this way of working will make blending much easier. And also I think that adding some highlights on her teeth would be beneficial. this right now is kind of strong, so it doesn't have to be that strong, but something like this, you can, you know, tone it down slightly. I will go with this one. And you know, this idea is kinda simple actually, but makes those colors interesting and brings more atmosphere. Anything to have would be great. Oh, that's how you do the colored highlights. Yeah, exactly. I go into the like neutral highlight, and then in the middle I put a color, because it's easier to blend this way. And I figured it out while I was painting Pixie, if I remember correctly. Pixie from Ignis Art, the one bent on the flower. I like the highlights there, like their eyes. Yeah, exactly. That's why I kept them, because they are like kind of strange. I know they are like I know, this just creates like this general strangeness and eeriness, and I enjoy it a lot. If those horns would be black or like very dark on the ends, I would also add like a little bit stronger reflections to create like stronger detail, like kinda very shiny horns over there, because also darker surfaces reflect more light. So I would do something like that, I think. It's very strange, but I like it. Minty blue, yummy. Yeah, I agree. Surely someone has done witch horn with eyes also glowing through the hood, right? I don't know actually. If I was to paint her, I think that I would do the glowing eyes, or I would create like this effect of the hood being kind of transparent, but with the skull visible under it. Something like that. I'm not sure if it's... again, that would be an experiment. I'm not sure if it would work, but you know, we would have to see and test. I don't think so. Not seen one anyway. Yeah, I don't think that I will paint this one, because I'm not a big fan of Mindwork games kits, but this is pretty cool idea. So do it, guys, do it. And the second advice from me for this one, I'm omitting the shadows, because you can always do stronger shadows, and this way the piece will become even more atmospheric, right? Second advice is, first one is the shadows, and second one is black lining. So this is a kinda basic one. I tend to mention it a lot, but black lining the details. So basically just outlining, and I'm using not black but very dark brown. So the black lining is the name, but in general it's about just outlining and creating separation between different areas and elements of the sculpt. And that just makes the painting full, so it looks kind of more busy, where it should look busy. And second of all, it creates more definition. See? And it's just this is just a painted darker line, but it created definition for this necklace. And also I would do something like that over here. For that I would actually use darker color. Oops, sorry. And first of all, like, those are not painted to the edge of every area. So I would either decide to paint them black and try to hide them in the hair if you don't want to work on them anymore, or paint a little bit bigger surface of them and then do the outline, which is almost invisible right now when I'm trying to paint it, but it's there. So I will just add those, you know, bigger shapes. and they will look just fuller because they will be. I won't overdo it though. So something like that. Black lining and then the highlight. I think that it's enough for this one. Also, like, okay, I changed my mind. I would add a little bit of shadow. I would add the shadow mostly over here, so on the bottom of her belly, to do a stronger framing of this character, because this what is the name? This part of her body kinda keeps it open, and I like to close the edges of the bust, so just slightly make it darker, something like that. So the energy like is staying inside over here and it's not going like, it's not washing away. But you don't have to do it actually. It depends on what you want to do, because the alternative would be delete. So the alternative would be adding a shadow over here and keeping this line of this. I think actually adding the line over here works kind of better for this one, but it's kind of framing in a way, and like this energy is not going like in those two directions, but in one direction. So I would add a little bit of shadow on the belly as well. Oh my god. Why it's not working for me? No, I don't want this thing. Okay. Okay. Not as intense, but something like that. Yeah, but also people tend to not be that creative with their paintings, so that's why I like this idea, because they are very unique. And okay, so I'm saving this one. So those three things: highlight, I would do it in mint actually. Edge highlight and edge black lining and shadow over here. Those are the three things I would do. Boom, done. Another one was this one. This is Mr. Goblin. Where is he? Over here. So Mr. Goblin. He's pretty cool actually. I don't know if he needs a lot of change. He has a lot of atmosphere. This thing over here is very nice. This hand highlight goes very nicely. The highlight reflection, right? And the colors, the navy, almost black, is very, very cool. I think that if you would like to work on the non-metallic metal more, and also it depends on what kind of non-metallic metal you are going for. If you want to add something more, you could add like different side reflections here and there. Okay, I need a lighter one, sorry. Oops, guys, 1 second. I need to check out something in the kitchen because I forgot that I'm cooking something. Be right back, sorry. Okay, it almost burned, but it didn't. In the end, that's important, right? Okay, so going back to Photoshop, I needed a lighter color. So you can just add some dots here and there. Those don't look that good actually, but they would be, you know, would need to be bigger, smaller, more organic. Let me try to fix it a little bit, so it will look like I know what I'm talking about. I think that they are too round. Yeah, but you can, if you want to improve on non-metallic metal, you can always try to add some reflections, and they may be dots. I usually do dots because they work the best, but they can be some kind of lines, stuff like that. And I usually like to put it inside the darkest reflection, so there's, you know, something going there. And the same goes for darker reflections, because, you know, reflections go both ways. So in the lit areas you can add something like this, I don't know, and make it more interesting, and that just adds more layers. But also it depends how shiny the stuff you are painting is supposed to be. Because if it's meant to not be that shiny, don't add a lot of reflections, because not shiny elements don't reflect, basically. And okay, so something like that. I think that it works slightly better right now. And over here, you had this example of where you have basically one kind of gradient on non-metallic metal. So this is light going into dark. So this is like one layer of light dark, and the best non-metallic metal is the most effective, let's call it like that, when you have a lot of layers of light and dark put, you know, like going across one another, and like when you have it layered, basically. Phone photos always look so bad. Yeah, mine too. Don't worry. And a very easy way to add one more extra line of darkness, or like, you know, this checkerboard, and to make look something more interesting, is just take a darker color and paint over the one light gradient, just a line in the middle. And this creates like instantly, it goes from one gradient from from light to darkness. It goes from light darkness, right? Right. So I like to just, you know, paint a general gradients on my non-metallic metal, and then start adding those lines going all around. And I would actually maybe do it like over here. Let me create new layer, and I would go like over here, creating like this ultra dark area, and then I don't know, maybe adding a little bit of highlight over here. But I'm not sure. This is like, you know, checking stuff out basically, to look how it will work. And secondary reflection on the bottom of the bolt. Same goes for this one. On this one, for example, the whole bolt is light, so you can go for a darker color and just paint a line across and create like this division again. So yeah, I would go like trying to find the secondary reflections, but for this one I wouldn't work on this one that much, because here you have the opportunity of on the miniature. So his the base metallic is dark blue, and he has a very contrasting red skin tone, and this area over here is like the surface facing slightly in the direction of his skin. So I would take the skin color and I would add this redness visible as a reflection, like kind of over here. So and I would also try to find, and then there would be this like there would be a very dark line needed just next to it. So I would make this a little bit thicker, and then I would try to find like similar areas. So for example, I'm not sure if you did it over here, but this is the perfect area for it. Clean non-metallic metal is boring, get some bounce lights and some random noise and some environmental reflections is there in there. Yeah, exactly. But also it depends on how reflective your non-metallic metal is supposed to be, because you know, it's nice to paint, it's nice to be able to paint something in a reflective way, but also this not should be the only way you are capable of painting something. For example, like this part over here is facing down, so I would take this color and add it over here, and I would try to look for areas of this kind to be able to, you know, translate those, like bleed colors from one area to another. And I think that I would do something similar over here, but with this color over here. Also, you have this round element. It is shiny, and you did this edge highlight over here, but I would make it lighter. So add a edge highlight, like highlight in the middle of the edge highlight, in the middle, like in the middle, I mean in the middle of the line of edge highlight. And also you can darken this area over here. So my feedback for this one is basically try to look more for the opportunities on when painting metallic elements or stuff that is reflective. Try to find more opportunities to bring more contrast and more reflections. See, this is pretty good, right? This is a very good attempt, but here you have more interest and more interesting stuff going all over. And also, look, you have this hand over here, which is red, and this armor over here. So why not take this reddish color and just paint it over here? And if you would do that, you would show to the viewer that you are aware of what is going on with your miniature, basically. So it shouldn't be that stark and that bright, you know. I just did it for the sake of placing it somewhere. Maybe I will slightly turn it down like that, and then with black lining I would just bring back the detail. Why isn't it working? Okay, it's working. So stuff like that. And here you have yellow, so you can take this yellow, put it, I don't know, somewhere over here. I like to place my reflections in the darker areas. So sometimes I try to be very faithful to the realism, and I try to figure out how to realistically put some reflections, but there are also some areas that are not that important. So when I'm looking to add more reflections into the painting, I'm just trying to find the closest darker space where I can put the reflection. So for this one, and I will take a little bit darker color for this one, I think that I would add the reflection somewhere here and over here. And also in between this reflection over here and this general color, I would just add a darker line. So something like that. I think it's slightly too dramatic. Sorry, my Polish is bleeding into my brain today. Because again, I didn't sleep well. But this is something that I would try to implement in this. I'm not sure how this element over here works, but if it's facing his neck, like the armor over here, I would again paint a line, create the division by adding a black lining, and boom, you have nice reflections. And this is, you know, technically nice, but like it kind of has like this, it kind of has this one more layer of detailing inside. And also, like when you have this area over here, right, I painted in the darkest element, I painted this dot, but I think that contrasting it will make it even nicer. So I'm just doing like this darker area over here and creating something like that. So I would go with this all over this guy and do that. And he's pretty cool. What you painted already is very, very nice. So, you know, just adding more detailing. So for example, like cleaning out over here and finishing all of the different, all of the else surfaces, painting nice detail, and then playing around with this kind of non-metallic metal, and you will be good. Do you have any questions, Jim, for this one or for anything else? If not, I will proceed. Okay. So I have Celestic here, work in progress on my first pass, Medarda? Okay, a character from Arcane, light from left. I know this, she's pretty, she has very nice design, even though I don't particularly like her, like as a character, of course. Light from left, I am to show it in contest, level confirmed. I have to paint the bodies and then enhance all the details. What was the color of the bodies? Can you send some kind of reference? Or maybe I will try to Google it quickly. I cannot read today, sorry. Okay, so it's dark. Something like that. Where is Photoshop? Closing this one, saving this one. So this will be kind of challenging in a way, because because she will have white over here, and white tends to take away the attention from the main point of interest. So I think that because, you know, white is very bright and usually the gaze goes where the light is. So I think that this bodice, like everything else on this bodice, will be darker, so I won't add it. But I will focus on, first of all, lighting this area over here. and I will go in maybe bluish direction, I don't know, or maybe because everything over here is warm, I would keep this white in a warm tone, so maybe kinda, I don't know, something like that. Okay, I'll try to set it later, and now I just need to overpaint it. It works in a way. Okay, so I think that I would add this lighter color, but not in a like truly white, but kinda of gray, and then add the highlights to, I don't know, keep the texture as it should be, something like that. And this way we have a light surface, but it's in the overall tones of this of hair basically. So we have a lot of warm colors. This is a continuation of warm colors. This is not stealing attention. If it was blue, it would be kinda, I don't know, jumping out of the painting slightly, and it would create like this division in colors. So and we don't have that many other cold colors in this painting, so it would be very visible, and also it would look more white. And with brown, it's just more in theme with everything else, and it's just harmonious, so it's not standing out when compared to the rest of the bust. So I would keep this light of gray, but kinda warm. And then what I would do for her lips. This is a very small feedback, but I think that her like Cupid's bow, like this thing over here, I think that it kind of needs to be thicker in a way. So I would try to kind of continue this highlight a little bit more in this direction, and maybe even move it slightly to this side, so it would align with the roundness over here. So it would sit on top of this fold, because usually when we have Cupid bow, it sits on top of this like rounder shape of the lip. Here you go, Jim. Happy to help. And then I would take lighter color and add stronger highlight in the middle as much as I can. Add the highlight over here. And if you want to make her face stand out, overall this is very nice level of painting. I like it. For the golds you could add stronger highlights or stronger light reflections. Over here I think that I would add something like that. So more white basically, and also like more organic reflections. So different dots, different stuff like that. Over here I think that I would make it basically white over here. Also over here. And first thing you can do is add bright reflections, but also dark reflections. So over here, dot, I don't know, dot again. It should be warmer also, because this is kind of cold and it's not going that perfectly with everything else. So something like that. Over here, just some lines. It will work perfectly. And with this one also. Maybe not here. So differentiation in a way. See, and it's just some random dots in places where in theory, like for example, when it's closer to the ground, I'm adding darker reflections because usually ground has darker colors. If it's closer to the light, to the sun or the, I know, air, whatever, add lighter reflections. Over here you could add brown reflection because it's not next to her hair, but also it's not that important because gold doesn't reflect as many colors as steel. And next layer of, let's call it like improvement, because this is very well painted, very well blended, so what we are focusing is detailing, right? So another detail, very important one actually, is her eyes. So I would go and add this little reflection over here maybe? Okay, so this is the issue. Those irises, I'm not sure how it's called, like the middle of the eye, the black thing. This is still a wild result from my first bust. Oh yeah, and also it was because I didn't read it. First bust, nice try. Very good result. And I would first of all move this so the irises would be even. Like Iris's eyes would be even, and then I would take very light color and put reflection, like those little dots from the direction of the light. So let's assume that it's over here, the main source of light, here and here, and look like how much interesting the eyes got, because you have stronger contrast, and we almost always get this dots in our eyes. I will also like elongate it over here, I don't know, kinda make it more organic in a way, something like that. And then for her eyes I would again do this line trick where I'm adding the line in the middle to make it more shiny, or I don't know, realistic in a way. Also I would add a little bit like I added this slightly darker line over here. I will make it even darker maybe. So I assume like this line is running through the eye like that. So on the underside you can add a little bit more reflection from the bottom. So the eye will be more shiny. And it just got more intense. Also this is very, iris color, black pupil, yeah. And this is very slight, this is very slight, I don't know, detailing, but cute. This is very small detailing, but eyelids are very oily, and also eyeballs are not perfectly round, because where we have the iris, the eyeball gets like a little bit like this, so it's raised in the middle of where our iris is going. So and this middle I don't know, shape of our eyes, of our eye kinda shifts a little bit our eyelid when we move our eyes. So and because the eyelids are glossy, like not glossy but oily, and oily reflects more light, then the area that is risen by our irises kind of follows the direction of our gaze. I'm not sure if I did, if I explained it like correctly, or I hope that you can basically understand it. But because the reflection follows the direction of our eyes, we can make the look of the eye more intense by adding the highlights over the iris, basically. So something like that. And then I would go, because you painted her eyelashes in brown, or at least they look brown, I would do those eyelashes in black, because black eyelashes just makes the eye more intense and more graphic. So something like that. So those are like my feedbacks. See, it looks more natural, the Cupid's bow right now. Okay, cool. Happy that I explained it. So something like that, and this is not that main changes, but just, you know, just adding more interesting detailing all over and very small bits and dots, and it works nicely. So I would do something like that. Do you have any questions, Celestic? A very good attempt in general, very nicely painted. I like it a lot. Also, I wanted to mention, if you would like to make a Cookie Crazy painting, you could add cold highlights. So again, a little bit blue or something like that, but you would have to put it inside the highlights you already got, so they would blend nicely, and it would make her skin look kind of cold in some areas or something like that. I will just paint it over here in the middle of the brow, but it should be blended out more. I'm not sure if it will turn out well. So we could add this kind of highlights, which are kind of colder, but also deeper skin tones reflect highlights in this cold way sometimes. So this is another pointer, but I won't keep it in this feedback over here. Okay, so and very good job for your first bust. It looks like you didn't have any you hadn't any issue with jumping from scale to scale, and sometimes people do. So what kind of models were you painting beforehand? Yeah, this is a good question. 7.5 megabyte. I need to decrease it. Warhammer, nice, good change. I wouldn't guess. Honestly, like, I know that Warhammer is the most popular, but nice change. Hey Malte, okay, I won't do this one today because it's getting late. And I won't have the time, but I don't know. I will maybe do a shorter feedback stream, like on. I will start maybe. Oh, you've painted the guy! I love this miniature. I will do the stream, maybe a shorter feedback stream. I'm not sure when. Maybe on Monday, but later in the evening. I will have the time, and. But today, not gonna happen. Okay, this one and this one. It's very cute miniature. Sorry, Malta, you are the first one for the next one. Mr. Dragon, where is the description? Work in progress. I'm trying to put focus on the front, but I'm not sure how to do it and not make the back just look unpainted. And it's from Marianne. Okay, so this is the usual issue with painting something with the focus on the front. And what you can do is to put the strongest highlight in the front, and you are doing pretty good job. You can put the strongest highlight in the front, but in the back you can just keep the base colors a little bit lower and darker, and just paint the highlight with edge highlights, because in the shadows we cannot see that much detail, but we can see edge highlight because usually edges catch the strongest reflections. So I would go with that. And not in every area. This will be very rough also. So I would add the reflection like that, and also don't over fixate about that, about not painting something. Just maybe highlighting some of the scales because you don't need to highlight everything. Something like that in the back, and it will look like it's painted. And then I think that you have a nice highlight over here, but you can go with even stronger highlight, right? With either stronger highlight. So I would add stronger highlights in the front, in particular on this red colors, because you can see strong highlights on the greens, but the red is more or less uniform, so we need to embrace the red basically. Oh, and I would like shade slightly his teeth because they are too intense. Something like that. And then I would go with the stronger highlight. Okay, let me find a good layer for it. Or maybe just like that, but not as intense. So I would make it, see, like from the far away it looks, just make a general highlight stronger, and then I would also do it with this red over here. If you want red to be more desaturated, keep the highlights more neutral, but if you want the red to be more saturated, highlight with some kind of light color and then glaze over it with red again. I will go with this kind of orange. So something like that. So edge highlighted detail from the back and the general stronger highlights from the front. And see, it's not that much change again, but it just makes the painting more full. So I like how the front turned out, but I'm not sure how to make the back a leg, the tail and the other side of this dragon interesting without highlighting them and diminishing the contrast with the front view. Yeah, as I said, stronger highlight and more general highlight from this side, and then a little bit darker but still lighter than the base color edge highlights from the back. And those edge highlights will edge highlights, but also black lining in between the different areas. So when you have the scales, those scales, just take a dark color and paint paint the darker areas all around, all over. Sorry, this is too intense. This will create the detail you need without overshadowing the front. See? It will be much nicer. And the texture you will create with those edge highlights will be interesting enough. And this needs to be just extremely light. Don't worry about it, I joined very late after all. yeah, but you know, you are in the lineup. I will get there. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Thank you. Yeah, and it's, you know, this is, you already did very good job, and it has a lot of atmosphere, and it's very, very cool. So just push yourself a little bit more, and it will be perfect. And you know, very brave idea for going this strong, and really you can do it. A work in progress, first time doing non-metallic metal. I find it hard, especially on the armor on his belly. I don't have such sharp edges. It doesn't have such sharp edges. Okay. First of all, the most basic advice I always give people for the non-metallic metal, in particular silver non-metallic metal, when we hear silver, we think gray, white and black, right? In reality, nothing in the nature is truly white or truly black, and everything has its undertones. So I would add a little bit of blue, because blue is very good for a base color for silver, steel, whatever. And also, this is very good advice from Kujo. Think about the shape of the surface. So this is round, and I think that it's kind of going like this. So it's round in the shape, but also in a, you know, profile. And because it's round, think how round objects catch light. Usually it's like when you have the ball, right? Usually it goes like this, and then we have the secondary reflection from underside. And I would try to repeat something like that over here. So first of all, you went with the natural shape of this belly armor in a opposite way than it actually is. So you went like this instead of like this. This is not what I wanted. Okay, whatever, I will just paint it again. So what I would do, I would overpaint this over here. Just those lines over here are enough. And then I would take this highlight color, and I would try to paint a rounder area like that. Also, I know this over here is problematic because it obscures, and I don't know, you can try to paint maybe or maybe not, because let's keep it simple, right? But if it was more complicated, I would try to paint a dark line over this under this handle to represent that the handle is reflecting there, but you don't have to do it. And then I would go for a lighter color, slightly lighter, it doesn't need to be very, very light, and then add one more line of reflection, and then you can add a little bit over here. I know that it has, okay, I was painting over the background, so I cannot go back, but I know that it has those dots and details in it. Don't be bothered with it. Treat this shape as one whole shape, and then after you will get the reflections right, go back into the detailing and edge highlight the detailing, do a nice black lining, which I will add right now, but maybe with a smaller brush. So like that. You can go into a even darker color, and I would actually go into blue, but I don't want to add a complication, and add even some dots. And you know, there will be those dots that were there initially. I cannot go back to them to make them visible again, So let's paint them like that. And then I would go with something very, very bright. Maybe not that bright, but something bright. And then on the, not that. I didn't want that. And then on the bottom edge of each of them, I would do this slight edge highlight, because as I mentioned before, edges catch the strongest highlight, and the edges that can see the light source catch those highlights. So when you have detail like that, don't paint edge highlights round, because edge on the top is not seeing the light source, right? Because it's facing down. So paint only the edge highlights on the on these edges that are seeing the rays from the sun coming down. And over here, you went with the highlight too far. So I would slightly turn it down, make it darker. Basically blend it out. And you have this big line over here. I would start with overpainting it in the middle and maybe keeping this line over here as it is. And then you can add one more line, something like that. And then, I don't know, I think that I would maybe go with a line of edge highlight again, like over here, but just a little bit. And maybe in the middle over here. And then highlight over here. So I would paint something like that. Yeah, I know that this is completely, you know, overpainting of what you had before, but it's just thinking about the shapes, like Kujo said. Treat this as your basic shape, and then try to repeat it over here and just adjust the detailing you have. Also, if you have any kind of like doubts or issues, try to find references. So think what has similar shape. I know for if you were to paint, for example, like a very shiny chrome tube, even something like this from the lamp may be a good reference, right? I'm not sure if you can see it. Can you see it? Like from the IKEA lamp. See, this is a I don't know, bouncy thing, how it's called, like, but here's this.
Spring?
Spring. This is a spring. And you know, in theory we know that this is a spring, but when it's not longer, it looks like a pipe, right? So this is a nice reference for a pipe, even though it's not a pipe. Or you can actually Google pipe in Google Images and just find it and observe how the reflections are working and try to repeat them. But always try to find a similar shape, something that is in the same family of, you know, geometry, and try to do the observations and repeat them. If only there was a legendary video about the basic shapes and non-metallic metal. Exactly, go to Kujo Painting channel and check out his videos. He explains very nicely a lot of things. And I was actually, when I started painting miniatures, I watched Kujo a lot. So it will be helpful for sure. I will maybe link it. Kujo Painting. Oh, wow, there is a video about me, guys. Can you see it? you have to watch it. Over here, this is Kujo's channel. Check it out. And yeah, so this is actually, this is, you know, you just need to understand about the shapes, and this is the whole clue on how to proceed with everything. And I know that it may look kind of complicated because I layered some stuff, but you can rewatch this explanation and, you know, cut it at some point and not do everything. And also understanding like those organic places where you can place light and dark areas, because the non-metallic metal looks the most shiny when you have a lot of light and dark areas in like this checkerboard in a way, so they are contrasting each other, but they cannot be like perfectly even areas, because in real life everything, you know, is kind of angled to many different elements in the environment, and almost nothing is perfectly even. So you all have in mind like this organic unevenness in everything you want to paint. Oh no, adverts, sorry. Like, I mean, your adverts, they are well deserved. So yeah, guys, I have 2 more submissions, but I will go over them quickly. I think that I may do a short stream on Monday. I shouldn't do short streams because I can see on my analytics that people prefer like 2 to 3 hours, like 2.5 hours at least. But on Monday I will just try to do a quicker stream, so I will be more up to date. And there will be next feedback stream on Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to watch the video. Yeah, have fun and enjoy. We have Loki on board. Let's show the kitty. Hello, very pretty kitty. And yeah, I'm going to finish the stream because I need to do something more before my workshops in Krakow. And yeah, Loki, he's back, but he went to Kukieł. Okay, so I think that this is it for today. And Minimaster, do you have someone I could line up for a ride? Thank you for the stream, thank you for watching, and thank you for coming by and chatting. Yeah, I hope that is helpful, and I will first of all put everything on the feedback channel. I will tag everyone and upload all of the photos, and also I will upload the VOD and link it under the feedbacks. Like all of the pictures, there will be in VOD link. Marco Frisoni. Marco Frisoni. Hey, good evening, Mike. Yeah, you are a little bit late because we are finishing the stream, but I will be happy if you will try to catch me like any other day. How can I get an invite to the Discord? Okay, I'm just let me send it. Is it over here? No, it's not that. Let me do the invite wherever it is. Oh my god, it doesn't want to listen to me. Here you go. You are invited. Yeah, Marco Frisoni. I'm always afraid that I will get it wrong. Right. Marco Frisoni. Is it okay? Okay, let's try it. This is wrong. Okay, I need to Google it. As payment for all the feedback, I will post a picture of Artemis in the pets channel. Yes, please do. Also, everyone, if you have a nice pet you prefer and like, or more than one pet you prefer and like, you can post them in the pet channel. You are very welcome to do that. Where is my Twitch channel? Where is Marco? I need Marco right now to do the writing. Okay. Ay. Control C. Got it. Okay, so I'm officially. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the. I got that. I'm officially writing Marco, guys. Say hi to him. Act nicely. And see you next time. Bye.